Alright, well, let's try a different character. Um, yeah, actually, let's try Void Fiend out. And while we do that, I'm gonna talk a little bit about a reading I did. Taking a class about streaming. I'm in college. Some of you know this, some of you may not. Wow, great start. Yeah, so the reading is from a book called Watch Me Play by T.L. Taylor. Essentially, the chapter was about like monetization on Twitch and just kind of like what goes into kind of like maintaining a channel financially. And I found it really interesting because before I started doing this, I didn't really have a huge idea of like what that all entailed. Like I'm familiar with the concept of like ad revenue and stuff. I used to have a YouTube channel back in the day. Actually, I post my VODs on a YouTube channel now, but it's nowhere near as big. But yeah, you know, I was familiar with the idea of like partner and affiliate and all that stuff. But it was interesting to kind of get into the weeds on it a little bit. I was watching what's it called? I'm blanking on it, but it's I think it's called like Able Stream or something. It's like a collective of streamers as part of the kind of the research in the assignment, and it was just interesting to kind of see the difference between like a smaller individual stream and like a large collective that's like financially supporting a bunch of people. Yeah, there's a lot behind the scenes that goes on. Like it takes a lot, right? Like this is a full-time job for a lot of folks, and like it's hard because a lot of streamers are very young, or you know, this isn't like there's no rule book on how to do this, you know. So people get in, I think, you know, they're not familiar with like making deals or like arguing for better rates and stuff like that, or at least they weren't. You know, it's become more of an established job now, but in the past, like, there wasn't anyone you could talk to about any of this stuff. So I just, you know, I found it interesting to like kind of read more about it from like an academic perspective. And then yeah, the chapter goes on to talk about like multi-channel networks, which I was semi-familiar with because of again, because of like YouTube stuff. What was it called? The one that Disney started, I think it's like Maker or something. I was familiar with that whole thing and like them, I'm pretty sure, going out of business and stuff like that. But it's interesting to kind of read about. Let's see if we can get some more items. Trying to stay out of corrupted mode so I can go in it for the boss, but I might just, excuse me, I might have to let it flip because it's just, I'm not getting to the boss yet. Interesting that the shuriken is just kind of stabbed into the hand. Same with the leeching seed. I don't know why the energy drink is on the top of his head like that. The fungus is all floppy. Ugh. Really good with Shuriken though. That's cool. Opal, nice. Opal's one of the best items. But yeah, if any of you guys have any like experience with the like monetization on Twitch or anything like that, you know, feel free to sound off. Like I have a couple of friends who are partner, my cousin's partner actually, and they just kind of, I've heard some of their experience with like, you know, making making content and getting kind of compensated for it. Where like it's really hard for the first like long while because it's not a ton of money, and it's like it's a lot of work. You know, you got to put in a lot of time outside of just being on camera or on, you know, live. But I don't know. The article was talking about like how bits and stuff. It's from, or it's not an article, it's a book, but it's from 2018, and so it's talking about how like bits were like a new thing because like donations and stuff were handled through third party originally, as were ads were as well, and so people could like ad block Twitch very easily, and that ended up taking money away from like creators. Which is something I feel like a lot of people don't think about. But yeah. Let's see. Yeah, YouTube actually used to have a different policy in terms of like ad revenue. It used to be that you would get, what was it? It was you get ad revenue off of your videos, I think just like straight up, but like it was so marginal they wouldn't send you a check if it wasn't over a certain amount of money. I think you had to make like $200 off of a video before they sent you a check, something like that. Some like medium high amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think a week is worth it. Love my choices here. But yeah, but now, and as of like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 3, 4 years ago, YouTube changed their policy, so it wasn't just any video. It was like you had to have a certain subscriber count, and you had to be pulling in like a certain number of views. It's more similar to like how Twitch has done affiliate and like partner nowadays. So I just think that's interesting how the space changes over time, especially in terms of like the monetary sense of it. I of course am nowhere near big enough to have any monetization on anything, but I just think it's interesting to think about, you know, even if I'm not at that point. And I think a lot of people focus really hard on, you know, getting to the point where they like are able to monetize their stuff, that they kind of forget why they started doing this, you know, like the passion. It's but you know, it can be hard. Like you look at the numbers all the time, and especially with like all the analytics and stuff, like it can be, you know, kind of not disheartening, but like something that you think about a lot, just because it's in front of your face all the time, especially if you're putting in like a ton of hours. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents on it. We're gonna try and full loot the stage. I've been getting into that. I like the items it gives. Alright. Got a big dude over there. I like the range on Void Fiend's M1. I think it's in